today. From Seattle, Washington, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency, and he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. And the social media chatter for the MVP races certainly start to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away and nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Wilson now off the bootleg, escaping the pressure right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. On third down, Wilson. Oh, he almost picked him. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The 49er offense about to go to work, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Charles, at quarterback.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in. Get calm before you go for the big strikes.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, steps away to his left. Going for Metcalf. This is caught inside the 15. And they do finally get him at the 12. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 50 yards. Off the play fake, here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He'll run it, and he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Quan Alexander, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. On the move to his left. He may try and run for this. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The previous play is under review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. This is why I could never make it as a quarterback at any level, especially the NFL. To have the poise to stay in that pocket, know you're going to take the hit, but still deliver it for a touchdown, great play.
I have to agree with you on that one. When I see those hits coming, I'm wanting to exit the pocket. I'm getting the heck out of there. Instead, we just saw someone stay in there and make the throw downfield.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
There certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Garoppolo's pass.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up
working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
George Kittle.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. These two rivals played 2 of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember Week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-21 49er win. And that wound up both winning them the NFC West and earning them the #1 seed. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Pass intended for Will Dissly. Incomplete.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Then how about this? A fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
13, 49ers 7. On
1st down, Carson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Fred Warner in on the
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action now. Wilson, flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Seahawks on great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
They go play action with Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, sings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On third down, this is Howard. And he is going to lose yardage here. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On first down, Wilson out to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it was the visiting L.A. Rams who get the victory in that one. Jared Goff leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting, maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
And it's 3rd down.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Covered by Jamal Adams.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete as well.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 20.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Quan Alexander make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupy.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Here's take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Garoppolo. James has it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
To Richie James.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Howard. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he's got his man on the out route. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Everybody stay under control. Let's just make plays, man.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
That's the end of the
and give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front, and to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
A loss of 2 yards. It's 3rd and 9.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. And that will be incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he's able to get it out of there. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Garoppolo on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. The Niners on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Garoppolo looks to throw once more, and it's caught. And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
And goal.
Go for it. It's Garoppolo. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll buy some net. He goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they could.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here.
Carson on the carry.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That's good.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Oh.